Hey, grade 7s, welcome to the beginning of Chapter 4. This is lesson 4.1. Chapter 4 is all about the competition for trade. We're going to take a look at our chapter inquiry, the key concept of this chapter, and we'll do some vocabulary work. So stick around and let's learn something. That's right, it is Chapter 4. It is the competition for trade. We're still in Unit 1, Pre-Confederation. The question that we are trying to answer, how did the various peoples of North America both work together in the fur trade and compete to control it? The concept that we're trying to tackle here is cultures in contact, And oh, look at this. Massive vocabulary list. We've got ethnocentric, barter, portage, stockade, and we have Métis. So let's start with cultures in contact. Contrary to popular belief, it wasn't the English or the French who were the first Europeans to arrive here in North America. It was actually the Vikings. They came around the year 1000. And it wasn't until 500 years later that we start seeing the French, the English, and the Spanish coming over, okay, approximately 500 years later. And it was the coastal contact that they had with the people along the coasts. First, it was the Mi'kmaq, then the Haudenosaunee and the Montagnais, which we will learn about later on in this course. And obviously, when you're making new contact with somebody, there is going to be some difficulty in understanding those people, okay? And from the Europeans' point of view, well, they were very ethnocentric, and we know this from the first chapter. Europeans had this ethnocentric mentality, this ethnocentric worldview, and they saw the Mi'kmaq, the Haudenosaunee, the Montagnais, later on the Anishinaabe, and further on into the west, as we'll see later in the year, the other First Nations and the Europeans, they always thought of themselves as better. That's ethnocentrism. And there's different perspectives when it comes to first contact. The first one here, this is a Spaniard's account of meeting the First Nations. There came to us a canoe with 9 men in it. This canoe drew near to the vessel, the people in it singing. But they would not come near enough for us to communicate by means of signs. Having followed us for some time, they returned to the land. About 5 o'clock in this canoe, and another in which there were 6 people caught up with us, both drawing up to our stern. The captain made them a present of some strings of beads, and they gave us some dried fish. But they would not come on board the ship. These people were well built, with long hair, and they were clothed in pelts and skins. Some of them were bearded. This is the First Nation. This is the Spaniards' account on meeting the First Nations along the west coast. This next one is the First Nation oral account of meeting Captain Cook's ship. The Indians didn't know what on earth or what in earth it was when his ship came into the harbor. So the chief, he sent out his warriors in a couple of canoes to see what it was. So they went out to the ship and they thought it was a fish come alive into people. They were taking a good look at those white people on deck there. One white man had a real hooked nose, And one of the men was saying to this other guy, see, he must have been a dog salmon. That guy there, he's got a hooked nose. The other guy was looking at him, and a man came out of the galley, and he was a hunchback. And the other one said, yes, we're right. Those people, they must have been fish. They've come back alive into people. Look at that one. He's a humpback, which is a salmon. He's a humpback. So this is what the First Nations, their perspectives on the first account of meeting the Europeans along the coast. And it's important to know that despite these different perspectives on first contact, they do eventually make actual contact where there's some communication going on, and they end up getting along with each other because of trade. but it's not an easy, simple process. This is something that takes a really long time to learn each other's different cultures and then to respect their differences. All right, I want you to head into your notebook and complete the questions for this part of the chapter.